Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to solve day 16 problem of this month on LeetCode. Before starting, if you guys haven't subscribed my YouTube channel yet, then please go ahead and subscribe it. Now without any delay, let's get started with today's problem. So today we are going to solve problem number 525, that is contiguous array. It is a medium level problem, and in this problem we have given a binary array nums, and we have to find the maximum length of a contiguous sub array with an equal number of 0 and 1. Okay, so we need equal number of zeros and 1, right? And we have to return the maximum length. Okay, so let's understand this with this example here. Okay, so here if I pick this particular array, okay, if I pick this particular sub array, so in this sub array, what is the length of 1? Okay, what are the count of ones? Okay, so in this particular sub array, my ones are 3, right? My ones are 3 and my zeros are also 3, right? Okay, my zeros are also 3 here. So in the end I have to just return the length of this sub array. So what is the length here? So this is the ending point of this sub array, right, at 7 index, right, and it is starting from this one, right, this position, that is 2 index. So 7 minus 2 plus 1 is nothing but 6. So 6 is the length of my sub array, which is having equal number of ones and equal number of zeros. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, so this is what we have to find. We have to return the maximum length, okay, of maximum length of an array which has equal number of zeros and 1. Okay, maximum length of our contiguous sub array. Okay, so this is what we need to find here. Okay, so now how we are going to solve this problem? So let's understand that. Okay, so let me erase this, all these things. Okay, so right now I'm going to use hash map to solve this particular problem. Okay, and in the hash map I am going to store the sum, whatever the current sum that I am going to get at any particular index. Okay, current sum and the index. Here I am going to store the index. Okay, here I am going to store the index. Okay, so to solve this problem I am going to treat, because these are the binary numbers only given to us, right? So I am going to treat my zeros as -1 and my 1 as 1 only. Okay, and I am going to perform the addition one by one. So initially, before starting, I am let's assume my current sum is 0. Okay, let's assume my current sum is equal to 0 in starting. Okay, this is what I am assuming. Okay, so I am going to start from this particular index. Okay, so this is my I right now. My I is at this particular position, and initially my current sum is 0. So here in my hash map I am storing that my current sum is equal to 0, and let's say it is at index -1. Okay, so this is done. This is the initial step in my hash map. I am starting assuming my current sum is 0, and it's before this array, let's say, and pick an index -1. Okay, this is at -1. Okay, so now after that, when my I is at this particular index, okay, when my I is at this particular index, what is going to be my current sum? My current sum is equal to be 0. Initially it was 0, right? Initially my current sum was 0. Okay, and now when I add this value, because I am treating here zeros as -1, okay, so when I am going to add here -1, so my current sum becomes -1. Okay, and now check if -1 is available in my hash map or no. Okay, so it is not available, so I am going to add this -1 here, and at which index that I have find this -1 at index 0. So at this particular index, so I am adding this index here 0. Okay, after that my I moves to next position. Okay, now again I am going to add -1 here, so plus -1. So my current sum becomes -2. Okay, -2 is there in my hash map? No, this key is not there in my hash map. Okay, so I am writing here my current sum as -2, and at which particular index I found this index at 1, right? So I have filled this value. Okay, this is done. After that, my I reaches at this particular position. Okay, so here when now I have found 1 here. Okay, now at this particular index 2, 1 is there, right? So I am going to add 1 here. Okay, -2 plus 1, it becomes -1, right? Now it becomes -1. So now I'm going to check if -1 is there in my hash map. Yes, it is there. Okay, so see here at this point I have found -1. Okay, at this point I have found -1. Okay, and initially my -1 was there at this particular index, right? Initially my -1 was there at this particular index, right? 0. And now again I have found -1 at this particular index number 2. Okay, so what does it mean? Okay, so see here, see carefully. So here sum of this is -1 and sum of this is also -1. Okay, so that simply means that at this position, at this particular position, my sum is 0, right? At this particular position my sum is 0. That is why that's the reason that I am getting -1 and again -1 here. Okay, that simply means that at this particular position my sum is 0. Okay, so here I have found one sub array. In which there are equal numbers of 0 and 1. So I am going to store the length of this sub array. So now my length of sub array is 2, right? I hope that you guys are clear. Okay, so initially my -1 value was here, right, at this particular index, and again I found this -1 at this particular index, right? So that simply means that for this particular subarray my value is 0 only, because there is no change, -1. Okay, it was -1 at this index and again it was -1. So that simply means that at this particular value my value remains 0 only. Okay, so if my value remains 0, okay, then in that case I have to find the length. So to find the length, what I am going to use here, okay, so see here -1 I have found this particular index, right? J, let's say this particular index, that is nothing but I. Okay, right now, so this is index number 2, right? So here I have found this index, and previously this -1 was there at 0 index. So 2, current index 2, and now here what is the value that is stored in front of this key, -1, 0. So 2 minus 0, so this is going to be my length. Okay, 2 minus 0 is equal to 2. So I hope that you guys are clear with this right now, right? Okay, so after that, once this is done, okay, now my I moves to next position. Okay, now my I moves to at this particular position. Okay, again, now last time my sum was -1, now again I found 0 here, right? 0 here. So -1 plus -1, and now my current sum becomes -2, right? My current sum becomes -2. So -2 is there in my hash map. This key is there in my hash map, right? So right now I have found -2 at this index number 3. I have found my this sum -2, and previously this -2 was at this particular index 1. Okay, here -2 it was there, right? So index 1, so 3 minus 1 is going to be 2 only, but previously I have also calculated the length same 2. Okay, so I don't need to consider this one, because these are the same length only. Okay, we have to just return the maximum length, so let's not consider this. Okay, because the length is same. Okay, but one thing is clear here also I am getting the sum -2 only. Okay, at this position. So I hope that you guys are clear till now. Okay, so this is one more this is one more sub array where we have equal number of ones and 0. Okay, this is first one and this is second one. Okay, we have found two sub arrays where we are getting equal number of zeros and 1, okay, of length 2. Okay, so this is the case till now. Okay, after that my I moves to next position. Okay, after that my I moves to next position. Now I is 0 here, right? I is 0 here, so minus 2 plus minus 1, so it becomes minus 3. Okay, so minus 3 is not there in my hash map, so I am going to add minus 3, and I have found this minus 3 at index number 4. Okay, so I am writing here minus 3. Okay, after that my I moves to at this particular position. Okay, so minus 3 minus 1 again, because it is 0, right? Minus 3 minus 1 is nothing but minus 4. Minus 4 is not there in my hash map, so I am writing here minus 4, and I have found this value at this particular index 5, right? So here I have found minus 4, okay, at this particular position. Then after that again my I moves to next position. Okay, and now I have encountered 1. Okay, so minus 4 plus 1, that is nothing but minus 3, right? Minus 3 is there in my array, right? Is there in my hash map, right? So here I have found minus 3 here. Okay, and minus 3 was there at index 4 as well. Okay, so here this 4 is stored, right? So minus 3 currently it is at 6 index, and previously minus 3 was at 4. So 6 minus 4 is equal to 2. So we don't need to consider this sub array as well. See here why I am doing this. Minus 3 is here. After that again I am getting minus 3. So that simply means that for this particular array sum is 0 only, because there is no change. Again I am finding minus 3 only. Okay, so this is the reason that I am taking this sub array. Okay, 0 1. So 0 or 1 or this sub array is also not considered for our case. Now after that my I reaches at this final position. Okay, my I reaches at this particular position. So minus 3 was last time. Again I have added plus 1. Right now it is 1, so plus 1, so it becomes minus 2. Okay, so right now minus 2 is there in my hash map, right, at index 1. Okay, minus 2 is there in my hash map at which index? At index 1. Okay, so here at this index 7 I have encountered the value. Current sum becomes minus 2, and minus 2 was there previously in my hash map at this particular index, right, at index 1. Okay, so if I am getting minus 2 value here and again minus 2 value here, so what is this index? 7 minus, and what is this index previously? This minus 2. This is 1 index. 7 minus 1 is 6 right now, right? So 7 minus 1 is 6. That simply means that this is the array. Okay, minus 2 here, again minus 2 here, and minus 2 here, right? So that simply means that this is the array where my sum remains 0 only. Okay, after that, because I am again getting the minus 2. So I have find the maximum sub array. That is nothing but this 1 0 0 1 1. Okay, so this is going to be my output, right? 1 0 0 0 1 1. So here what is the length? 6. Okay, this 6 is I'm going to return, and check the number of zeros and 1 here. 3 zeros and 3 ones, right? 3 ones. So I hope that you guys are clear with this explanation. So I am going to write the same thing right now in my code. Okay, so now without any delay, let's get started with the code. Okay, so here first of all find the length of our nums array. Okay, and if n is equal to 1 only, then in that case we have to just return null, right? Because we don't find anything. Okay, we have to find a sub array which is having equal number of zeros and 1. So if this is the case, n is equal to 1, then just return 0, because there is not going to be any sub array, right? So we have to return one integer value, so return 0. Okay, so this is done. After that I am going to use a hash map, and in hash map I am going to store current sum and index. Okay, so two integers I am going to store. So integer integer, and let's name this map as map new hash map. Okay, this is done. I have created my hash map. Initially I am taking my current sum as 0. Okay, so int current sum cs is equal to 0. Okay, and initially the max length is 0 only. Okay, so int ml is nothing but my max length is equal to 0. Okay, initially my max length is equal to 0 only. So this is done. And initially here I am considering that this sum is at, because we don't have any sum, we are assuming that this is my current sum 0 only. So we are starting from here, and here I am giving it at -1 index. Okay, at -1 index we have found this, so I am storing like this. So can I write like this, map dot put, okay, map dot put this key, that is nothing but 0. I have found this at which index, -1. Okay, 0 -1. Okay, so this is clear, I hope. So this is done. After that I am going to run one loop. Okay, so I am going one by one using this I, right? So I am going to run one loop for I starting from 0 only, int I is equal to 0, and it is going till I less than n and I plus plus. Okay, this is done. Then inside this I am okay, so now inside this I am considering my zeros as -1 and ones as 1. Okay, so here can I write it like this, current sum is equal to current sum is equal to current sum plus my nums of I. Okay, my nums of I. So here one thing, if my nums of I is equal to 1, then in that case I have to, okay, if my nums of I is equal to 1, then in that case I have to use it as 1, otherwise I have to treat it as -1. Okay, so I hope that this is clear. Okay, so this is done. Now after that I am going to check if my map contains this particular key. If my map, okay, if my map dot contains key, okay, which key, the current sum key. Okay, current sum is I am storing as keys only. So current sum, if my map contains this particular key, okay, then in that case I am going to update my max length as math dot max of my old max length. Okay, this one, or new max length is going to be I. Okay, so here I am subtracting now, so I am finding the, here write this I minus previously value, that is this current sums index. Okay, so I can write it like this, I minus map dot get current sum. Okay, so this is going to give me the value of previous current sum. Okay, so this is done. Now in the else part, I am just going to put the value map dot put current sum, and at which index that I am finding this value, right? Current sum comma index. Okay, this is done. And in the end I have to just return the max length. Okay, so in the end just return max length, return max length. Okay, so this is done. We have written our code. Okay, so here we are starting from if n is equal to nums dot length, and if our n is equal to 1, then we are, in that case we have to return just 0. Okay, and then we are using one hash map, and here there's some issue. Current sum is equal to current sum plus nums of I is equal to, okay, if it is equal to, okay, nums of I. Okay, so here current sum is 0 and max length is 0. Then I'm in the map, I'm putting at the starting -1. Okay, this sum is at -1. Then I'm running one loop for each I, and then I am adding the current sum values. Okay, if the value is 1, then in that case 1, otherwise -1. If it's 0, then in the map I'm checking if that particular current sum is there. Okay, if it is there, then I'm finding the maximum length. Otherwise I'm just going to put that sum in my map. Okay, so now let's submit the code. So all the test cases has been accepted here. So our solution is accepted right now, and I hope that you guys are able to understand today's problem. And if you guys still have any doubts, then please feel free to ask in comment section. Till then, keep coding and keep practicing. Meet you in the next video. Thank you. Bye bye.